So today, we're going full deep dive into why European and American motors are basically opposites. And yes, we're finally talking about European outboards. Spoiler, they're weird, they're smart, and they probably judge your fuel economy. I was at the dock last week, listening to American outboard fire up. It sounded like someone was launching a jet ski with a Harley engine. Then I walked past a European rig, and I swear, the engine didn't even make a sound, just a polite hum, like it was apologizing for using fossil fuels. That's when it hit me. These motors aren't just built different, they think different. One's here to party, the other came with a spreadsheet. To really understand why European and American marine motors are so different, you've got to zoom out and look at the mindset behind the metal. In America, the marine engine game is all about power, speed, and simplicity. Bigger is always better. A typical American boater wants an engine that can rip across the lake, pull a wakeboarder, tow a tube with 3 kids screaming their heads off, and still have enough torque to drag a cooler full of beer, and maybe the dock behind it. There's a pride in raw performance, in muscle, in the deep rumble of a V8 engine shaking the marina. Now cross the Atlantic. In Europe, the mindset shifts. Here it's all about efficiency, innovation, and refined engineering. Europeans are less impressed by brute strength and more interested in how little fuel an engine can use per nautical mile. They'll talk about emissions compliance, integration with joystick controls, and how smooth the idle is at low RPM. And don't be surprised if the conversation turns into a lecture about clean marine propulsion and life cycle sustainability. It's not just a matter of preferences, it's shaped by culture, geography, legislation, and fuel costs. Fuel in Europe is expensive, regulations are strict, waterways are often narrower, older, and more regulated, so engineers there are forced to get clever. Over in the States, fuel's been cheaper, regulations lighter, and lakes wider, which led to big boats and bigger motors. So when you look at a MerCruiser and a Volvo Penta side by side, you're not just comparing two motors. You're comparing two philosophies, one that yells, "Send it," and one that quietly says, "Let's optimize that RPM curve." And both work, just in totally different ways. Let's start with the inboard engines, the muscle you don't always see, but the ones doing all the heavy lifting beneath the deck. These aren't the flashy outboards you show off at the dock. These are the workhorses, and they're built very differently on either side of the Atlantic. The undisputed king of inboard diesel in Europe, Volvo's reputation is built on efficiency, durability, and ultra-clean emissions. If you've ever cruised a yacht in the Med or seen a commercial tourboat gliding through the Norwegian fjords, odds are it was powered by a Volvo Penta. Their IPS, inboard performance system, changed the game. Joystick docking, forward-facing dual props, better fuel economy, and quieter performance. It's like if Apple designed a marine drivetrain. Clean, precise, clever. On the other side, we've got the gas-guzzling gladiator from the States. MerCruiser is all about power, simplicity, and sheer availability. Their 6.2-liter V8 stern drives are monsters, designed for wakeboards, speedboats, ski rigs, and party pontoons. Maintenance, easy. Parts, everywhere. Torque, you'll feel it in your teeth. Fuel bill, don't ask. But if you want to hear your engine scream across the lake on a Sunday afternoon, this is your pick. Volvo whispers its way into smooth, efficient cruise. MerCruiser, it kicks the throttle through the hull and roars like it owns the water. One's a Swiss watch, the other's a sledgehammer with a cup holder. So what's under your deck? Are you #Team Diesel with Volvo's precision, or #Team Gas with MerCruiser's punch? Drop it in the comments, we want to know. Here's the plot twist. Europe isn't just playing inboard chess anymore. They're stepping into the outboard game, and they're bringing the same brainy, eco-savvy engineering that's made their inboards world-class. Diesel outboards? Yeah. Leave it to Sweden to reinvent the wheel, then make it run on diesel. OXE Marine is pioneering the world's first high-performance diesel outboards, like the OXE 300, delivering up to 945 Nm of torque. That's insane pulling power for a compact unit, and because it's diesel, you're getting better fuel economy, safer storage, and longer lifespan. This isn't your uncle's fishing rig. This is what you put on a military patrol boat or a high-end commercial vessel. If James Bond had a stealth boat in the Arctic, it's running OXE. Now let's talk quiet power. Torqeedo is the German wizard of electric marine propulsion. Their Deep Blue and Travel series offer whisper-quiet motors with zero emissions, ideal for inland lakes, eco-sensitive zones, or anyone tired of waking up ducks with their outboard. It's like having a Tesla that floats, except this one doesn't need a driveway. The stylish underdog. Selva blends Italian flair with solid performance, offering a wide range of 2- and 4-stroke outboards. Bonus, they partner with Yamaha on engine platforms, so you're getting proven power wrapped in a sleeker, Mediterranean-friendly shell. Ideal for leisure cruisers who want their boat to run smooth and look good doing it. Europe's not just catching up, they're rewriting the outboard playbook with diesel, electric, and modular magic. European brands are focusing on clean energy, low noise, and advanced integration, not just bolting horsepower to a transom. If you're learning something new here, tap subscribe. We cover marine tech you won't find anywhere else. Alright, now let's flex some good old American muscle. The kind that echoes across the lake before you even see the boat. If you've spent any time around outboards in the US, you know this name is legend. Mercury doesn't just build engines, they build monuments. The V12 600 horsepower Verado, that's not just an outboard, it's a floating engine block party. The first production V12 outboard in history, and it's naturally aspirated. No turbo, just raw American steel. It comes with dual gear cases and independent steering, which means insane power with insane control. Basically, it's a NASA rocket strapped to a transom. Overkill? Absolutely, and that's exactly why American boaters love it. Sure, they're Japanese, but these two brands might as well have dual citizenship. They've taken over American docks for one reason: bulletproof reliability. Yamaha is the Honda Civic of the sea, reliable, smooth, and everywhere. You can run it hard, skip an oil change or two, though not recommended, and it'll still purr like it's fresh out of the box. Suzuki, while slightly less visible, packs serious tech like lean burn control, making it a quiet killer when it comes to fuel efficiency. These outboards are beloved in the US because they're rugged, forgiving, and fixable. You don't need a diagnostic computer, you need a socket wrench, a bit of stubbornness, and maybe a buddy holding a flashlight wrong. Whether you're powering a bass boat, pontoon, bay boat, or a full-blown speed rig, these engines start when you ask, run like they're mad at something, and shrug off years of abuse. In the US, boating isn't just a pastime, it's a personality, and trust, torque, and turnkey dependability are what keep Mercury, Yamaha, and Suzuki ruling American waters. The design difference, you can spot it from across the marina, and you don't even have to be a gearhead to notice. European motors are all about form and finesse, compact, aerodynamic, and integrated like they just rolled out of a Formula One lab. These engines aren't just bolted on, they're engineered to flow with the hull, often designed with the same care you'd give a luxury timepiece. Weight distribution is optimized, sound is dampened, exhaust is routed smartly. Every inch of the motor serves a purpose, and probably comes with a proprietary diagnostics app that talks to your GPS, smartphone, and maybe even your espresso machine. Then there's the American approach, and let's just say subtlety is not part of the equation. These outboards are big, tall, and unapologetically mechanical. Think thick cowlings, exposed fasteners, and a footprint that says, "I'm not here to impress, I'm here to perform." They're built to take a beating and still get back on plane. Easy to install, easy to wrench on, and easy to trust when you're 5 miles offshore with a cooler full of fish and a schedule full of whatever happens next. This isn't just about looks, it's philosophy in action. European engines are designed to be part of the boat's performance system, finely tuned for hydrodynamics and efficiency. American engines are modular workhorses, designed to be mounted, run hard, and fixed with a socket set and a YouTube tutorial. It's like comparing a German coupe to a lifted American truck. One says crafted precision, the other says grab the keys, let's rip it. Neither is wrong, they're just built for different boaters, different waters, and totally different weekends. This is where things really get interesting, because when it comes to marine engine development, Europe and America are playing entirely different games. Europe is in full-on innovation mode. Constant evolution, constant refinement. You've got companies like Torqeedo pushing electric propulsion to the mainstream, building cloud-connected engines, integrating solar charging systems, and dialing in AI-assisted fuel mapping. Over at Volvo Penta, they're rolling out hybrid drivetrains, joystick controls, and even self-docking tech. Europe is thinking long-term: emissions, automation, sustainability, and seamless tech integration. Meanwhile, America is focused on accessibility and scale. It's not that the tech isn't there, it is, but the emphasis is on widespread serviceability, reliability, and affordability. With a Mercury Marine, you don't need a laptop to troubleshoot, you just need a toolbox and maybe a second coffee. Parts are everywhere, mechanics are everywhere, you break down in the middle of nowhere, someone within 50 miles can probably fix it. So, who's better? That depends entirely on what kind of boater you are. Want cutting-edge tech, whisper-quiet drives, and feel good about your carbon wake? Go Europe. Want raw power, easy servicing, and parts that don't require a customs declaration? Go America. The truth is, neither side is wrong, they're just building for different priorities. It's like comparing an iPhone to a Swiss Army knife. Both get the job done, just depends if you want to charge it or sharpen it. So here's your job. Drop a comment. Are you Team Innovation or Team Accessibility? Europe or America? We want to know where your loyalty lies. Let's talk about the real-world forces shaping marine engines. Fuel prices, regulations, and the brutal economics of boating. In Europe, fuel isn't just expensive. It's maybe let's just sail expensive. That alone puts pressure on marine engineers to squeeze every ounce of performance out of every drop. Couple that with some of the world's toughest emissions laws, and you've got a recipe for hyper-efficient diesels, hybrids, and electric systems. These motors aren't just trendsetters, they're compliance-driven innovations. Take Torqeedo, for instance. Their electric outboards are booming, not because people are hugging trees at the marina, but because in places like Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, many lakes literally ban gas engines or heavily restrict them. If you want to cruise those scenic waters, your motor better be silent, clean, and smarter than you. So Europe leaned in, and now they're leading the charge, pun intended, on electric propulsion. Meanwhile, in the US, things have traditionally been a little more relaxed. Fuel is cheaper, the lakes are wider, and the engines, well, louder. V6s and V8s dominate, because for decades, nobody batted an eye at guzzling gas on a weekend run. Boating was more about fun, freedom, and that unmistakable growl at 5,000 RPM. But things are shifting. With the explosion of EVs on land, Marine is feeling the ripple. Even Mercury Marine is investing in electric outboards, and in states like California and Washington, emissions regulations are tightening, pushing US boaters toward cleaner tech, slowly but steadily. So yeah, fuel and laws don't just shape how engines are built, they dictate why they're built, who buys them, and how the entire marine industry charts its course into the next decade. And if you think this is just about engines, you haven't looked at your next fuel bill yet. So, who's winning this marine motor battle? Is it Europe with its sleek innovation and whisper-quiet precision, or America with its relentless horsepower and no-nonsense reliability? Honestly, that's like asking who wins between Formula 1 and NASCAR. One is the pinnacle of engineering finesse, the other is the definition of raw performance. Both are dominant, just in different lanes. Europe leads in technology, emissions innovation, and integration. Hybrid systems, joystick controls, electric propulsion, all getting refined and tested across Europe's more regulated, fuel-conscious waters. America still rules in mass production, availability, and sheer grunt. Engines that are easier to fix, cheaper to replace, and ready to pull anything short of an island. If you want speed and serviceability, America delivers. But here's the cool part. They're learning from each other. Volvo Penta has gone hybrid, Mercury Marine has gone cleaner, quieter, and is even entering the electric game. European outboards are getting more muscular. American systems are starting to look, dare we say, elegant. The future, it's not European, it's not American, it's global, a mashup of the best ideas from both. Think of it like jazz and classical. You don't have to pick just one. You can appreciate the chaos and creativity of an American V8 and the smooth sophistication of a Scandinavian diesel. So instead of arguing who's better, let's just be glad we've got both. Because at the end of the day, whether you're cruising in Cannes or blasting across Lake Havasu, there's an engine out there made exactly for you. And that's a win. So next time you see a sleek diesel Volvo Penta in a Monaco marina, or a Mercury beast screaming across a Florida lake, you'll know they're built for different lives, different laws, and different lovers of the water. They're both awesome, they're both necessary, and together they make boating a whole lot more interesting. Drop us a comment. Which engine are you running, or dreaming of? Diesel? Gas? Electric? Tell us your setup. Liked this deep dive? Smash that like button. Want more marine tech breakdowns? Subscribe. We do this every week. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's next.